is that when I'm hearing certain patterns, right, there's some that are universal, but then really I'm always looking for the person's own patterns. I'm really not looking to read them universally. I'm looking to read them personally. And sometimes that takes a little rapport building as well, right? So to get to know, and that again, questioning, tell me a little bit more about that. What is your meaning of that word? Like your personal meaning. But, in general, when you do that much of a kind of a wide range study on the resonant point of words themselves, words that cause stress, words that cause, us to not feel stressed, to feel relieved, or to feel at peace. I'm also incorporating that. So especially with people who really want to drive home communication, strong communication, because really we don't have much rapport unless we have communication. That's a huge skill to learn, and our own ability to be cognitively aware and intentional when it comes to choosing certain language, not only from meaning, but from resonant point, right? How's that meaning going to land on the person, not just what they understand, but literally how they feel? That's key, right? So again, our ability to be measurably impactful in a positive way, it's kind of an assumption. We want to be positively impactful. We really want to be aware of these things. And so that's one of the kind of driving forces I have in trying to get people to understand the importance of not just the meaning of the language, but literally how does that language land and how do people feel when they hear those words spoken? We really have an advantage when we have more awareness about that.
So let's translate this or kind of distill it into something that the people who are going to be watching this video can kind of put into a real world situation. So I am I'm the owner of a company, and we're doing well as a company, for example, or maybe not. And I need my employees, the people that I work with on a daily basis, to understand the importance of something. And the words that I choose may be a heartfelt, come on guys, let's all do this. But they're not hearing that same exact message, which could just lead to frustration on either side. Mm-hmm. That's where you can help. Is that right?
Absolutely. Because a lot of it also too is when I work with business owners and, if we're talking about your key audience here. So these are fleet owners, right? These are people with fleets. Well, unless they're driving all those trucks themselves, they've got employees, right? They have people who they need to trust will go out and do as they would do, if they were going out themselves. And that is all the way we get that information across is through communication, right? So the key piece is asking what, getting to know that person's normal mode of communication, right? So it's not just the what, which is the language, it's the how. Right? And I do look at 3 key pillars when we're kind of diagnosing this, and I'm diagnosing, but we're looking at it, right? We're studying it, we're discovering it. And that is what are you trying to get across? What are you wanting to say? How do you go across? How do you go about doing that? Do you send out emails? You just shoot things quickly? Do you just text? Do you get your whole team together and have a conversation? Is it a directive, or is it kind of an open mic conversation where everybody, gets to have a say in what's going on or ask questions, or, how does this look? And then what's the end game, right? Where is this communication supposed to go? Like, what outcome is it supposed to bring about? Right? What is your purpose for communicating this? And a lot of times, meaning just in general, but if we're talking about this particular audience, people, fast-paced world, a lot going on. We don't think through these things ahead of time. So when we're in it, we're just trying to communication. Perfect example is a client who I recently had, and he had this really great conversation with an employee who was going through some hard times. It was a heart-based, he showed up with a heart open, wholehearted leadership. And that employee had sent back an email, that meant so much to me. I felt like, you were there for me, not just as the boss, and then the next call had to do with something that he needed to have this person do. And so the person had I guess, called in sick because, again, this issue had come up and was not able to do it. So instead of picking up the phone and saying, I understand, we really kind of need you, he sent off a quick email, basically kind of in directive format, like, I get what you're going through, but I need you to do this, and I need, but it was email form. Did not land well. This person had just had this heart kind of communication with him, and then the very next thing that this person had experienced was more head-based stuff, which is okay. Apparently after they worked it out, and the person says, it's not that I didn't understand what you needed from me. It was how it came across, right? It would have been great if you had picked up the phone and told me that. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but to that leader's credit, he took the time, to try to figure out, why did this not land properly? Why did this person seem to be offended? Why, where was the communication breakdown? So I work a lot with people on just in general, what patterns are showing up, where their patterns are, blockage, where are you blocking your belief systems? It's kind of like having a virus in your system, that you have these, I believe, but then you're not following through with action. It's because there's this other belief that's running as this viral thing in your system, and you don't even know it's operating there, right? But it will come out in your language. So part of that is that, but then, okay, now on the day-to-day, how are we going to apply these skills of knowingness around our language to the actual breakdown? So I believe that it's very hard to have something that we can draw off if we haven't defined it in hard, cold language. That's why the what, how, and where is important. And that's one of the things I teach with communication. What do you want to say? How do you want to say it? And where is this going? What is the reason for you communicating this?